getting down today. I stream a lot of various games, but this is one that I've started running more recently. That I used to play in my childhood. It's a very fun game to play, and also fun to speedrun. So I'll be getting started here. Time will start as I press start in a second here. And ready, and time start. Okay, so in this game we've got 50 levels to get through, and we gotta get our party of characters through each stage, which consists of a single screen. And to finish a level, you have to either kill every enemy in the stage, or get all your characters to the exit. So killing all the enemies is kind of slow, so for the purpose of speedrunning, we're going to be killing off all but one member of our party, so that to get to the exit, we only have to get a single character to the exit, which is a lot faster than having to kill the enemies in every stage. But, you know, part of the problem with that is that it makes it a lot harder, because you have no health bar in this game. If you get a single hit, you die. So, from now on, I've got my one character. So you start with 3 characters, but they're not the best. And we want, you know, the best character if we're going to be using one for the whole run. So I tried to, or I get this character in the second level who just so happens to be pretty much the best character in the game. There's kind of 3 speeds characters can be. They can be either fast, slow, or medium. And he's kind of the fastest speed. And additionally, he is... that has pretty much his weapon too. He's got, so if you look on the left side of the screen, you see there's an H on his weapon. That's his, like, each person has 2 attacks. You have your, like, normal attack and your kind of special attack. His normal attack has excellent range. His special attack is a high shot, so there's some characters that are on ledges, like you can see in this fortress level. The ones on the wall in the fortress are the higher level, and only people with a high shot can hit people on the high ledges. So we need that to finish the run, and he has that, and he also has one of the best ranges on that. So there's one character that has a slightly larger range on their high shot, but they have the limitation that they can only shoot their high shot forward. So as far as someone that can do everything we need to do, he is by far the best character. Yeah, when you play this game normally, you get a lot of characters. So there's 20 different unique characters, and each have different abilities. And, you know, normally you're meant to figure out which abilities to use to get through the level the easiest way, but they kind of put this really good character at the start, so I think they're kind of going for, like, you're not meant to really not take any hits when you're playing normally, so I feel like you're meant to save him for when you really need him, because he's just, quite good. But, you know, for speedrunning, we can just, get good at the game and use him the entire time, ideally. But it is very easy to get hit, so there's a good chance I'll have to use a save state at some point during this run. So here's the first boss. So there's 5 rounds, each consisting of 10 levels, with the last one being a boss level. And boss levels have no exits, with the exception of the round 2 boss for some reason. Not sure why that is. So we're going to have to actually kill everything here, including the boss. And the problem with having no exits is, so if I do get hit, I don't instantly lose. My character kind of drops onto the stage as a hostage, and I will game over, but you do get 4 continues in this game. It's kind of an arcade-style game. It originally was an arcade game, and this is a port to the Sega Genesis. So if I get hit during the boss, I will game over, and I'll have to load a save state. If I get hit on a normal level, I'll get 1 chance, so I'll continue when I get the starting 3 characters again. And I'll get a chance to go through and try to collect my character again, which on some levels it's not that bad, but you know, the starting characters are not quite as good as this guy here. So there's a good chance that on certain levels I'll just end up dying still. I'm not super practiced in recovering it, because normally if I die, I just reset a run, because that's dying there. So yeah, I get a chance to save it here. This level shouldn't be too bad to rescue him on. But yeah, this guy is pretty similar to the guy. He's got the same speed, and he's got a high shot that can shoot in all directions, but he's just a lot less range. But it doesn't matter too much on this level, because I can still hit the characters and successfully save them there. So I won't have to load a save state here, just lost in time, because now I have to kill off the other 2 characters you get. But yeah, that's what the death looks like. And I get 4 continues, so I do get a chance to recover, but on some levels it's almost impossible to do it though, because these characters just aren't quite good enough to get some levels done. And there's further problems is that in the final round, you also get no continues, so there's a lot of ways to die and have to game over here, or not be able to continue. So they expect me to probably have to load a save state at some point, but it would be cool if I do not. So, as you can see, we're on to the second round, and kind of the way the rounds work is that it's kind of like progressing through history. So we're kind of in ancient times in the first round, now we're kind of in like a medieval setting. So the story of this game is kind of a bit interesting. It's that it's 1,000 years in the future, and humanity has basically achieved world peace. There's no more fighting. In fact, there's so much more not fighting that people have forgotten how to wage war at all, and they're kind of worried that what if there's like an alien invasion or something. I guess it doesn't really specify in the story, but I don't know what else they'd be concerned about. They're like, we need to learn how to fight again. So they create the Game Ground system, which is a computer simulation that to simulate warfare, but the system goes rogue, and its creators and various rescue parties that were sent after them all get captured within the machine. So that's what we're in right now, and that's why there's a bunch of hostages lying around. There are previous parties that were trying to kind of save it and fix the computer, and we are kind of the last hope. If our party fails, they're just going to blow up the machine, and everyone inside it presumably dies, I guess. So this is a little interesting strategy where you have to kind of navigate this hallway and quickly kill that knight before all these enemies converge on you. This level has these kind of wizards that appear up, and they're very I remember them being very challenging when I first played this game, and for the speedrun, this level they're fine because they kind of always appear in the same spot. But the next level is also going to be a wizard level, and then it can be pretty hard because they kind of move randomly. They have like set spots they'll appear in, but it's kind of random what order they'll take to appear them in. So you can lose a lot of time here just getting bad wizard patterns and not be able to react to them fast enough. So far it's pretty good. And you might, you'd be tempted just to run through and ignore all the wizards, but if you do that, it's first off really hard to not get hit by them, but even if you don't get hit by them, you waste more time just trying to dodge all their shots while trying to clean up these slimes at the end than you would of just killing them at the start. That was a pretty good wizard stage, pretty quick there. For the second boss here, we've got a cool strategy where, again, there's wizards. You got to kill 3 specific wizards, and then you can stop in this one spot, and then he'll just miss with his lightning, and you'll be able to kill him real quickly. Not quick enough. If you mash a little slower, you missed the 1 cycle kill there, but that was good. So, yeah, he kind of shoots lightning at you, but by standing right there, you bait his lightning to the left, and then you just miss it, and you can just... The wizards, none of the remaining wizards can hit you because they all spawn in set spots, so you can just stand there as long as you want, and you're right on top of the boss. So you can only have 3 projectiles active. You can have 2 of your normal and 1 from your special. So if you're kind of right on top of a boss, then you can shoot it a lot faster, because as soon as you spawn your projectiles, they'll, hit the character. So you're basically only limited by your matching speed if you're really close to an enemy. Most enemies don't have much health in this game, so it doesn't matter, but for bosses, you really want to be like as close as possible to them. But obviously, it's hard to get as close as possible to some bosses because they're generally trying to kill you. But for the World 2 one, there's that really good lineup that makes it very easy to get right on top of it. For the World 3 and 4 bosses, though, it's going to be a lot harder to get as close as we'd want. So you kind of there's a lot of risk versus reward with how close you get to those bosses to kill them faster, but also a lot easier to get hit. They're on to kind of, the theme here is probably kind of like a more Western, I guess. There's some like cowboys hat. I think these guys are on cowboy hats at least. And they have guns now, which obviously makes it a lot easier to get hit by them. Like the bow and arrows and the crossbow wielders, they shot quite slow, but these guys they're always going to shoot you if you get close to them, so you have to really respect their range a lot more. This level, no real fancy strats here, you just got to get through and clean up everybody. That was unfortunate, I missed that shot. Gotta go back. And yeah, this one we actually kill everyone because there's that hostage right in the way. So if we tried to exit that level, we'd have to rescue the hostage or then spend time killing him, so it wouldn't be worth it. This level, normally in like a PB attempt, you just kind of YOLO run through this level. But I'm going to play it a bit safe here and make sure these last two guys, you just kind of run through and hope that those last two guys don't run into you. But here I'm just going to wait till they're out of the way a bit. These enemies here are actually in a little ditch, so you can actually only hit those with like a lobbing shot. So my high shot goes up and then comes back down onto their head to hit them. But you have to be at just kind of the right range to do it. So yeah, generally, for the speedrun, we're just trying to get to the exit as soon as possible. So, you know, the general strategy is just kill as many enemies as you need to not get shot on your way to the exit. And that's what I'm doing here. Like, I know which enemies can hit me if I'm trying to run to the exit, and I kill all of them. And hope these last two don't shoot me like that. This guy's coming too. Okay, this is not ideal. So yeah, we're coming up on the round 3 boss, and this is one of the first 2 bosses that are really quite hard. This is the round 4 boss. Oh yeah, first we got this. This is probably the hardest exit run stage, where we just got to get centered here, do a quick left-right shot, and shoot one more, and then navigate the bullets. Oh, that was close. Yeah, quite a tricky run there. So yeah, for the round 3 boss, you know, there's no real pattern. You got to really react to what he does, and you know, try to kill him as quick as possible, obviously. But it's one of the more challenging bosses for sure. Ironically, the final boss is probably the easiest boss in the speedrun. I mean, it's kind of hard when you first play the game because he shoots these like heat-seeking missiles that are, you cannot really dodge them. They're too fast. They'll always hit you. So you just have to know like when to run to kind of get towards him before he shoots. And if you're close enough, they'll like go around you. Oh, almost got hit there. And you ideally want to kill this guy before he retreats back like that. And then you can clean up these guys. And then kill this guy. It's a lot easier when there's just one of them to avoid their shot. You don't want him to go back there, but you can get up here and... Oh, almost died. Okay. And that was a pretty good quick kill of those bosses. On to round 4, the modern age. And this is actually the easiest level in the run. You just hold up and you finish the level. So round 4 actually wasn't, so this game is an adaptation of an old arcade game, and round 4 actually was not in the original version, so this is new to the Genesis port here. And these, you know, soldiers are, you know, they have more range, but they're also, the most notable thing is they're a lot faster than the characters we're seeing in round 3, so it's very easy to kind of get overwhelmed by them. If you miss 1 or 2 shots on a guy, they can easily be right on top of you and make it very uncomfortable and easy to get hit. And there's a lot of levels where they just spawn like a ton of them on top of you, so you have to do really specific movement to not get hit at all. And we have this one little arcade stage in the middle. I'd like to think it's just a shout out to the game's, you know, arcade origins, but I don't know for sure. But yeah, all the rest are just like modern military looking. You know, we have this one arcade stage here. And here it's actually a bit faster just to kill every enemy rather than go to the exit, because trying to go down the left side, it takes a long time because they'll shoot up at you, so you have to kind of shoot a bit and then retreat. Yeah, this is probably the hardest stage, where they just spawn like a ton of enemies on top of you, and you gotta move really specifically, mess it up there. You gotta kind of get back enough to kill those 2. And now this is a bit problematic, because there's a lot of these guys left. Oh, what even hit me there? Okay, yeah, so now I'm gonna have to load a save state, unfortunately. I lost my dude that I need to finish the run. So let's try this again. Oh, that's a problem. He do not want him to go down like that. Okay. We're trying to save him. Let me continue. But yeah, this is probably one of the hardest stages. But not too surprising that we're having some trouble here. Yeah, it shouldn't be too bad to clear from here. Okay. And then, yeah, so the problem with, you know, taking a hit is it takes a long time to kill off the rest of your party members. So, you know, you use like 20 to 40 seconds depending on how early into a level you lose a character generally. This is another level where it's kind of just, you know, in the course of getting to the exit, we just kind of end up killing every enemy anyway. Oh, wait, I missed that guy here. Oh, no. Yeah, I can miss a cycle here. Oh, he shot quite early. Gonna miss another cycle. So yeah, kind of when you're approaching enemies, they kind of like shoot on a set cycle, but like their cycle's always going. So it's not like as soon as you get in range, they'll shoot. They'll like shoot you as soon as their like cycle hits, as soon as you get in their range. So, you know, depending on, you know, there'll be times when you could run through an enemy's range and not get hit, but if you enter in the wrong time in their cycle, then they'll shoot you. Here it's important to kind of stay back a bit, because if he fires a shot at you, that guy kind of approaches from off screen once you kill that guy. So if you get him to shoot, you'll kind of get stuck between the shot and that guy, and you'll be forced to get hit. Coming up is another stage where you have to really be careful of your movement because they're spawned on top. So yeah, I'll be doing it throughout the run, but yeah, when you start a level, you get a decent amount of time, probably like almost a second, where you're invincible, and during that time, any enemies you run into will just, you know, die instantly. So there I, you know, shot that one guy in front of me. You have to run over and kill that group of 4 with your invincibility, and then get back in time before those 2 guys off screen come in to kill you. So if they run to the left, it's pretty easy because they, you know, it's closer to get back to shoot the 2 guys. But if the group of 4 kind of meanders to the right, it can be very tight to get back in time to shoot those 2 guys. That time they went to the left, so it wasn't too bad. Here's a little bit of this like conveyor belt gimmick, which is only in this level. And it's pretty interesting because it's like, it creates this interesting experience where you're running up the conveyor belt, and then they start shooting at you and you're trying to run away from the shots as the conveyor belt's pushing you towards them. And yeah, this game is actually like a really fun game to just play casually. Like, kind of the strength of this game is that, you know, each character has like a unique ability, so it's really fun to kind of figure out who to use to get to the level like as easily as possible. But, you know, unfortunately in Iran we just use one person the whole time. It kind of doesn't play to the game's strengths. Like, it's probably a better game casually just because of that. And it's really a unique game. Like, I don't know of any other games that are quite play like this game. So, you know, if you, you know, wanted to check it out and do a run, and that's a 2-player mode that's really fun also. So if you have a friend, it can be a very fun game to try to play through and clear. Oh, that was unfortunate. I thought I could get under that shot. This could be a bit of a problem. I don't know if I can get the angle on these guys at the end here. Yeah, this could be bad. I shoot over this wall. No, yeah, his range is so bad that I can't even shoot over that wall. There we go. That should be good though. Okay. There we go. Okay, I can get out. And yeah, it's a lot easier to play normally because you have, you know, 20 characters, so you can, well, there's 20 characters and there's duplicate copies of some, so you can get quite a large party. So, you know, a lot of the challenge in the speedrun comes from only using a single character when that's not really how the game's intended to be played here. So if you're to the round 4 boss, you know, probably the hardest boss in the game is going to be this tank, this garage here. You can only hit it by shooting this one little spot on the front. You'll see this little circle, and it shoots a lot of bullets, so it can be hard to kind of line yourself up to shoot this one little area on the tank while trying to avoid all the shots. Yeah, walking backwards is generally a good pattern because you can get a lot of shots out at front. Yeah, it can move all over the stage, including to the very bottom, so you kind of really got to be careful. Like, if you don't want to get sandwiched below it. And he's shooting hard here. It is already going to be a bit slow to kill, I can tell. Yeah, not the fastest kill, but getting to the dog getting hit is always good. On to the final round, and yeah, so from here on out, if I get hit at all, forget this guy's alive, you just kill him off. Yeah, if I get hit at all, then it is a, you know, it's going to be an instant game over because there are no continues before this stage. And I actually shouldn't have killed that guy first, because if I get hit in this level, I could have, you know, rescued him with that guy in my party, so I accidentally stuck him first, but I should have actually kept him alive. So I would have, you know, I couldn't continue, but I could just have this member of my party from... Yeah, you don't want to get that close, you know, you want to kill the guy before this guy shoots. So yeah, this one has these, you know, these robot characters. They have a very big range and they shoot very fast, but they don't really move for the most part. You can see even though they're moving on this level, have like a set pattern. So it's a bit different than round 4. Round 4, you gotta really kind of react quickly to deal with these big mobs of characters. But here it's more about hitting, like, you see I'm trying to hit a very precise spot to kind of shoot them without their range. So, you know, not inherently hard to do, but when you're trying to go fast, it's very easy to kind of step 1 or 2 pixels too far and, you know, get hit by their shot. Also, here there's this car where it's like a lot of health, kind of like a mini boss almost. But I don't want to kill the car, so I'm gonna do a little strategy here where I try to go around it, which is quite hard to do here. Yeah, that's bad. He's shooting. Okay. Yeah, he's firing a lot. It's kind of like random where they shoot. There we go. Should be good. Yeah. Yeah, so this is quite the tricky strategy, but it saves a lot of time. You know, I didn't get it super fast, so I'm not gonna save a ton of time here. But yeah, that's actually a strat that was discovered more recently by a guy called Ariel. He makes pretty good videos on Game Grounds. Pretty small channel, but very good if you're interested in this niche game. So yeah, look him up on YouTube if you're interested in this game. You're introduced to these kind of like orbed. They kind of, you know, once you get in their range, they will charge towards you like that. So you can actually shoot them from out of the range, but you know, sometimes they're positioned in a way that you actually can't do that. So yeah, like once you're in the range, they kind of and they shoot. They can either shoot like they shoot 4 projectiles, and they can either be like vertically and horizontally aligned or diagonal. So it can be kind of, you gotta kind of react to what they do to move the fastest. So yeah, here's a level where, you know, I said a lot of times the enemies are pretty static. These little spider-looking things obviously aren't, and those are pretty quick. You kind of, you know, they can kind of just hang back and make it hard, you know, make it slow to kill all of them. But that time they all came to me pretty quick, so we're getting this level pretty fast. Ah, that was, yeah, that was a unfortunate mistake. So what I did there is you have to be very close vertically aligned with those guys, so they all shoot like horizontally at you, because if they shoot diagonally at you, then they'll hit you like that. So I just was, you know, like, needed to be a couple pixels higher up when I was running across to kill those guys to not get hit like that. So gotta take all these spiders again. And yeah, this run, it can be a bit frustrating this speedrun, because, you know, you're on a good run and then you just, you know, make the slightest mistake and get hit, and the run is over. Yeah, here we got these little orbs again. Oh my gosh, I almost got too close. Yeah, oh, we also introduced these moving robots on this stage, I guess. So yeah, these ones will charge at you once you get in their range, but you can shoot them outside of the range, so they're generally not too much of an issue. But yeah, if you accidentally get too close before they're dead, like I did that time, then it can be very easy to die to those. I just clean up these orbs to clear a path to the exit. So yeah, this level will have more of these robots that charge at you. And yeah, like, you can take them out before they, you know, from outside the range, it triggers them to charge, but if you accidentally step in the range before you're done killing it, then they're very fast, so you'll probably die. And, you know, I've been doing that throughout this round, but, you know, you really just clear enough to clear your path, and here you actually want to time it right. So you've got to go in the right part of the cycle. If you just charge through, you know, there's a 50-50 chance they'll just shoot you if you get in the wrong timing. So you got to wait till just after he shoots a shot diagonally, and then you can go. So he takes the longest time to shoot that horizontal shot. Saves the most time to get through there. Yeah, not that many levels left. The next level is pretty, that's a unique enemy. There'll be these 2 walls with little like slots in them that have turrets. And you can kind of get right on top of them and shoot them where they can't shoot you, but I'm going to try to do a skip where you don't shoot the last two. You kind of trigger them both at once, and then time running through both of them while they're not shooting, like that. Which saves like a second or two, but not too hard to do once you get the hang of the timing. So here we're on the penultimate level, where this one orb can be tricky. This one you kind of can't really shoot it because there's like, there's like a gap where you want to be. That was good. So it can be tricky to get all 3 shots on that guy while he's moving diagonally. And then for the last one, we got to go up to bait that last one to go diagonally so we can get down on this path as quick as possible. And we're at the final boss, so time will be coming up as soon as the screen transitions to black after I'm done this. You just have to know when to go to avoid these missiles, so go right after they pass kind of the middle of these 3. And then you just want to get right on top of them and mash fast enough. Didn't quite mash fast enough. If you do it quick, you can go before you even shoot those bullets, but I had to back up. And time will be coming up very shortly. And time. So yes, we have defeated the machine, fixed the malfunction, though ideally, I mean, you kind of supposed to save your allies, so hopefully they can be rescued in the future. I don't know, it's unclear by the ending of this game. But yeah, a very fun game to play casually. I highly recommend it. Unfortunately, not the best run here. I had to load 2 save states, so not even a valid run, but got there relatively quick regardless. In other words, thanks for having me for this event. It was a lot of fun to run this game and show it off. And good luck to all the runners later today.